Hey guys, it's Sheldon again with another video update on DaVinci Flight. Today I'm going to be walking through our latest educational mission, a parameter exploration. We'll be looking at how the aspect ratio of our main wing impacts our flight performance. The aspect ratio of a wing is the relationship between its wingspan and its average chord length. High aspect ratios lead to long and skinny wings, whereas low aspect ratios are short and stubby. Varying this parameter has a number of differences on how the vehicle performs, both in terms of efficiency and handling, and we'll explore some of those aspects in this mission. First, you can select the mission as before by hitting Escape in the hangar bay, then Select Mission and select a new mission. On the Mission Accept screen, scroll down until you find Parameter Exploration Mission 1 and click the image on the left. Then press Accept and you will launch the mission. As before, there's a cutscene at the beginning, and you can skip it if you want to by pressing Escape. There's a marker once you get back telling you to go to the library and read the mission instructions. The instructional book for this mission outlines the 3 parts of the mission and gives some tips to help you along. It's available in all 3 parts of the mission, but it's only required that you look at it in the first part. After you flip through the library book, there's a new marker directing us to the flight simulator. Once the flight sim is loaded and we launch, there are 2 rings that we want to flight through. I won't be able to make it through both of them with the given glider, so I'm going to hop out now and head over to the design analysis room. In here we see our glider, and we have 3 sliders that we can play with to adjust the design of our glider. The main wing dihedral and horizontal stabilizer angles are available for you to modify if you want to do a little of investigation into how these parameters affect your glider, but they aren't necessary for this challenge and we won't be talking about them. The main focus of this mission is to look at the effects of aspect ratio. You can move the aspect ratio slider here to see what the aspect ratio means. In this first challenge, we want to be able to glide through 2 gates that are spaced pretty far apart with not much drop in altitude between them, so we need a glider with a high glide ratio. If you're already familiar with glide ratio and its relationship to the lift to drag ratio, you can iterate your design in here before going to the flight simulator. Let's set our aspect ratio up to 20 and set, then go to the Results tab at the top, press the Analyze button down at the bottom, and we can see that our L over D has increased because the higher aspect ratio leads to a higher L over D. This result takes into account both the angle of attack and velocity of your glider at its equilibrium gliding condition, so this result should match up closely with what we'll actually see in the flight simulator. Once you've got a design you want to test, save the changes to your glider, exit back to the hangar bay, and try to make it through both gates in the flight simulator. Once we get through both gates, we can return to the hangar bay and select the second part of the mission. In part 2, we can hop back into the flight simulator and see that we've got a different challenge. There are 23 gates set up in a tightening slalom. This mission requires that we make it through at least 21 gates, but there's an extra reward for making it through all 23. This is going to test our glider's ability to turn sharply and reverse direction quickly. For this, we'll need to go back to the design analysis room and give our vehicle a lower aspect ratio. Before that though, if you're controlling your glider with the keyboard, there are some settings we might want to look at to help you control your glider more effectively. In the Escape menu, if you press the Settings button, a window comes up with a set of control surface sensitivities and control surface deflection limits. These deflection limits control the minimum and maximum deflection angles for your control surfaces. These are available when using the joystick as well as the keyboard. The sensitivities are only available when using the keyboard though. They control how many degrees per second the control surfaces deflect while the key is depressed, or when you take your finger off the key, how quickly they go back to 0. There's no perfect all-around number for these, as they're going to depend on user preferences as well as on the dynamics of the vehicle you're using, so we leave them available for you to adjust as needed. For this challenge, you might want to increase the sensitivity of your ailerons so that you can quickly switch from banking one way to banking the other. Once you've made it through 21 or more gates, you can move on to part 3 of the mission. return to the hangar bay and load up Parameter Exploration Mission 3. In the third and final challenge, there's a course laid out which at times requires a decent glide ratio and at others requires making quick, sharp turns and banking reversals. So you'll have to make a compromise between glide performance and maneuverability in order to have a glider that will be able to complete the whole challenge. There are 21 gates available, some of which will provide a temporary force boost as needed, but most do not. If you can make it through at least 15 of the gates, the course will be completed, but you can always try for more. If you're struggling to make it through the gates, make a note regarding where you're failing. Do you need a better glide ratio, better maneuverability, or do you need just better control? Use this information to guide your design choices and possibly revisiting your control surface sensitivities or deflection limits. Alright, we hope you guys enjoy this update. I think this mission is a lot of fun and you should still learn a thing or two about airplane design. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to post them below so I can get to them. And as always, be sure to grab the latest version of our game at DaVinciFlight.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be sure to catch our latest video updates. Thanks for watching, I'll see you guys next time.